Well, hello. Today's movie is the 1974 disaster flick Airport 1975. Columbia Flight 409 is on a routine flight from Washington to LA. They have to divert to Salt Lake City because of bad weather. A private plane is also in the area, and the pilot has a heart attack. He crashes his airplane into the jetliner and tears a hole in the cockpit. It sucks out the co-pilot. It also kills the navigator and seriously wounds the pilot. The head stewardess must take control of the airplane. The stewardess boyfriend is also a main flight instructor, and he goes with Vice President Petroni to help instruct her. She manages to avoid crashing into mountains. A rescue operation is then mounted by lowering an Air Force pilot into the airplane from a helicopter. Unfortunately, the Air Force pilot accidentally unhooks his harness and falls to his death. Not to be discouraged, though. The boyfriend, Murdoch, then goes down and he successfully manages to enter the cockpit. He lands the plane and he saves everybody. So this movie, Airport 1975, which came out in 1974, so the producers must have been ahead of schedule there, is a kind of a sequel to the 1970 movie Airport, which is based on an Alex Haley novel. And Alex Haley got, credited as the inspiration for this movie. So I guess, that's a good thing. Author gets probably paid for all these airport movies that came out, even though it just inspired him for the most part, except for the first. Actually, the 1970 movie was a big hit, and you can you can see my review in the link below. And so they decided, obviously, they're gonna try and milk it, and this was an incredible hit. It was like just a $3 million budget, and they made $103 million at the box office. It was supposedly the seventh highest grossing film in 1974, and third highest disaster movie of the 70s, only behind, I guess, the Towering Inferno and Earthquake. Also a Charlton Heston movie. And so, obviously it was a great movie, I thought, personally. It never did well with critics, but it's kind of a fun, engaging movie, even though it has a kind of absurd plot. And, it has a lot of the characters that you see that were troped, satirized in the Airplane movie. A singing nun who was to a girl that was getting an organ transplant. There was an alcoholic, an aging star. That was Gloria Swanson, and this was her last movie before she died. And it's you can kind of see where that the Airplane movie got its satirization. I mean, the Karen Black character is the Julia Haggerty one, and when there's the singing nun with the guitar, I'm expecting to see her knock out the IV or something of the organ transplant girl. 'Cause that's what always comes to mind when I see that. And this was filmed in Salt Lake City and Dulles International Airport. And I just think it's a fun movie. It like I say, it's for some reason it is quite engaging. It didn't focus much on the crew. They had a various crew. He even had like the, and of course George Kennedy is the only one who returned. He would be in all four movies, and he had a very interesting career arc. Like you see from this one, he was the maintenance supervisor in the first. Now he's like vice president of operations, so he's really moving up in the world. And yeah, I think this is a good, solid movie. If you want something to watch, I would. And if you stuck with me this long, I thank you. You're a unique individual.